Real funny, Jim.
Oh, they're at that funding meeting.
What funding meeting? Oh wait, yeah, that's tomorrow. Oh my god.
We purposely didn't tell him. We really need this funding. Last year, instead of a formal presentation, Michael made a musical.
Sorry I'm late. No worries, Mike. I was just explaining to the Dunder Mifflin investing heads about our ethanol production proposal.
Don't let me stop you, keep going. Corn, sugarcane, hay, good stuff.
Great. Now, as I was saying, most companies use alpha amylase as their primary enzyme to break down their biomass into fermentable polysaccharides. There are some benefits, including the fact that it's a pretty good enzyme. However, the enzyme has a tendency to decompose at high temperatures. So, we are proposing cellulase as an enzyme for ethanol production, specifically for the use of cellulase as a pretreatment enzyme, meaning the biomass will be treated with cellulase before it enters the fermentation tank. So the fermentation process will be more efficient.
Cellulases are already a huge market for cotton processing, paper recycling, and as animal feed additives as well.
However, cellulases have the opportunity to become the largest volume industrial enzyme if ethanol, produced from biomass and enzymes, becomes a major transportation fuel. This is the basis of our pitch to you.
Is the pitch meeting going on right now? And Jim's doing it?
Michael's in there too.
I should have been doing that meeting.
We also decided not to tell Dwight the presentation was today. Last time, he tried to convince the investment heads that cellulose could be mutated to cut through steel and sold on the black market. It's an enzyme used to break down cellulose and other polysaccharides, not an acid. Its main commercial uses are for laundry detergents and textiles, and hopefully soon for the fermentation of biomass into biofuels. Not breaking into saves.
Do the next big thing in the history of ethanol production.
Move aside, plebeians. You don't know what you're talking about. And so that is exactly...
Dwight, get out of here. Jim and I are doing a great job on our own. Did you know that cellulosic ethanol production starts with biomass and breaks down the cell wall to release the starches and sugars inside the plant leaves and stems?
Duh! Everyone knows that. Then the simpler compounds get broken down into ethanol. Child's play.
I was explaining that to the board, not you, idiot.
Anyways,
Okay, picture this. Superman is made of steel. Mutated cellulase breaks down steel. Superman comes to your farm to steal your beets. You throw cellulase on Superman and boom, defeated.
Not even sure how we got that one into his head.
too many episodes of Bill Nye.
Cellulose does not break down steel, Dwight. That's ridiculous.
We don't know yet. All we tested are beets, hay, trees, all that boring stuff.
There's more to ethanol production than just this, Dwight. There's first of all the pre-treatment, then there's the hydrolysis, then there's the fermentation, then there's the recovery. Cellulase doesn't do it all.
But it's still a very important part of ethanol production. If ethanol production becomes more common, it's likely to grow rapidly due to interests in renewable fuels, then cellulose will easily be the most common industrial enzyme used worldwide.
Yeah, of course. Why don't you tell us more about this, Jim?
Michael, let me do this. I've been working on this for so long. Shut up, Dwight. You know I could do better than Jim. I've been working on this my whole life. Give it to me. That's what she...
Wait a minute. Can we have a minute, please?
This is why you should have let me do the presentation instead of Jim.
Hold on, figure it out.
What was that?
I thought you wanted our help. Dwight has some good points too.
Yeah, I've been working on this for months. I've made my own ethanol out of beets.
Wait, ethanol can be made out of beets?
Yes, you idiot. I knew that since I was 7 months old. Of course I didn't learn at 7 months old. Everybody knows you have to be at least a year old to do material and energy balances.
Wait, Jim, you both can take it from here. Right, this meeting needs some energy. Let's go!
Let's take a step back. One of the first steps in ethanol production is the pretreatment. The pretreatment is the removal of different pollutants and starting materials. It's fairly easy to understand the process. Without this step, the produced ethanol is more likely to be contaminated or even potentially unusable.
And although the reasoning might be fairly simple for simple minds, the process is a lot more complicated than just removing the pollutants. If pretreatment is done well, the stream coming out of the pretreatment facility will be much more pure, saving us time and energy. Two possible pretreatment processes are stream pretreatment and microbial pretreatment, which has been known to increase ethanol yields up to 10% over all traditional pretreatment methods.
And then, one of the most important steps is using the enzyme cellulase to break down the organic molecules initially, which are too complex to ferment. Afterwards, hydrolysis, which breaks down compounds like cellulose into sugars, can be fermented. Otherwise, the fermentation process will not run as smoothly.
Then, lastly, the final upstream process is the fermentation of the ethanol. After that, the ethanol can be filtered and purified as needed.
I don't think we got the funding.